Intel's new Coffee Lake mobile parts have been here for a while, and they're powerful little chips, especially on the i7 side of things. We won't talk about the Core i9 because it's trash and I hate it, and I don't ever want to discuss it again because it's just an overclockable i7. I don't want to have to keep making that point. Unfortunately, systems equipped with i7 Coffee Lakes are usually super pricey, but what if we told you they didn't have to be? That's where the Wootbook range from good old Wootware's self-produced lineup of Coffee Lake-powered notebooks are here that won't break the bank. But are they any good? Are they really as great of a value as they seem to be? Well, I mean, that's kind of what we'll be looking at in this video. Specifically, in this video, we will be focusing on the Wootbook N857EK1-6, which isn't exactly the most creative name ever, but what it lacks in the snazzy name department, this Wootbook definitely makes up for almost everything else. It comes equipped with the new Core i7-8750H, 6 cores, 12 threads, running at a base clock of 2.2 gigahertz, boostable all the way up to 4.1 gigs. As for the GPU, NVIDIA's GTX 1050 Ti has it covered, driving a 15.6-inch 1080p IPS display. It also features almost all of the other things that make a notebook, built around one of Clevo's OEM designs. It also features a rich I/O configuration sporting 4 USB slots, including USB 3.1 Type A and Type C, 2 mini display ports, yes that's 2 of them, as well as your HDMI port, headphone and microphone jacks, SD card reader, and a LAN port. Now, here's where things get a little strange. In order to keep costs as low as possible, none of the Wootbook models include RAM, any storage devices, or an operating system. But while strange, this move actually makes a fair bit of sense. As mentioned, this obviously reduces the initial cost of the system pretty dramatically. Gamers who need tons of storage for their expensive libraries and tons of RAM to keep things running smoothly might benefit from a beefy HDD and 16 gigabytes of RAM, while those who need just a daily driver for non-video editing and animation work can get by with 128 gigabyte M.2 SSD. This out-of-the-box modularity is without a doubt the Wootbook's biggest draw, other than its fantastic price. Duh. Case in point, Wootware is currently selling this specific model for just 13,499 Rand, just about $1,000, which, side note, Wootware isn't international, so we're only converting to dollar outside of South Africa. We're using the South African Rand here, so that we're just talking dollars so everybody else can follow along. So to illustrate just how great that price actually is, let's look at other similarly spec notebooks and what they're going for, starting with MSI's GL638RD, which features the same Core i7 processor as well as the 1050 Ti as the Wootbook, and comes in priced at 18,799 Rand, which is about that 5,000 Rand more. Our Asus equivalent, the FX, a bunch of numbers and letters that I don't really want to spell out again, features the same 2 core components and is currently selling for 19,500 Rand, about 6,000 Rand more over the Wootbook. The Dell Inspiron 3779G3, same specs, also comes in close to 20 grand, which is about 6,500 Rand more than the Wootbook. Now, of course, all of these examples include the parts missing in the Wootbook, which is the hard drive, the RAM, all of that good stuff, which is why we hop back online to add those prices to the Wootbook's missing parts to its total to see whether it would be still a good deal. And because the cheapest of our comparison notebooks, the MSI GL638RD, features a single stick of 8 gigabytes of memory running at 2400 megahertz, we chose that on Wootware's website, the G-Skill version. The MSI equivalent also features a 128 gig M.2 drive and a 1 terabyte hard drive, which works out to an additional 576 and 1033 Rand when you add them to this notebook. Lastly, even though we don't want to include it because if you don't have a copy of Windows to install at this point, you're PCing wrong, we're going to throw in this copy of Windows 10 Home for about 1,700 Rand. Seriously, folks, you can download it from free from Windows directly from Microsoft. As long as you don't activate it, it doesn't cost you a cent. All of this combined with the initial cost of the Wootbook brings its total to around just under 18,000 Rand, which reduces its price advantage over the MSI notebook to just about 800 Rand or about $60. So it's $60 cheaper than the MSI one. Even so, the Wootbook is still the least expensive notebook of its class that we've seen online in South Africa. And then if you take a look at other manufacturers who are selling overpriced versions of things with like a 1050, you see that this is an even better deal. So if you cut the cost of Windows, since you can already get a copy for free and potentially even, remove the storage options if you already got an M.2 or 2.5-inch drive ready to go, and it becomes ridiculously value-oriented. This means the Wootbook N857EK1-6 can't really be beat when it comes to pricing. But that doesn't mean anything if it sucks. So what's it like to use? We actually somehow convinced Wootware to send over 3 different models of their Wootbooks for review 2 months ago for Computex. Thank you guys for being so generous and letting us keep it for so long. But each of them perfectly fit the needs of one of our 3 team members who needed the laptop. We obviously have Reece, who uses a MacBook, who doesn't really count as a person because of that. So this particular model was best suited to Tank, our writer and reviewer. He needs a well-balanced system, ideal for everyday use cases, isn't afraid of opening thousands of Chrome tabs, so needs a decent amount of RAM, and is comfortable typing away on the keyboard for hours and can easily handle light to medium intensity gaming sessions because he's a pleb and can't handle anything more than Cuphead. All things that this particular model seemed perfect for, at least after Wootware chucked in 16 gigs of 2400 megahertz RAM and a speedy SSD. Since this was perfectly exclusively dedicated towards Tank, we're actually gonna have him guest star here on this review so he can tell us his actual personal thoughts on this very here device. There you go. All right, you've been using this laptop for what, like 2 months, roughly? A month longer than we probably should have?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've used this extensively. Like you've basically been using it for all of your work for us.
Yeah.
Taking it home, working with it, not destroying it, not pouring Monster on it.
Not yet.
Okay, so what do you like most about the laptop?
Looks powerful.
Powerful. Okay, so the 6 cores, 1050 Ti.
I can't go back to 4 cores.
You can't go back to 4 cores.
I need more than 8
you
threads.
You have a Ryzen 7 at home.
Exactly.
Okay, but like, is it the cores? What are you using cores for?
I just like having many things open at once.
But that's RAM. That's all RAM. But what do you need the cores for?
I like to think that if I needed to record things, I could.
Oh, so you do like screen captures, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. So you think that this is powerful enough? What about on battery life? How's battery for you here? It's removable, which is good. It's not gaming.
No, like on gaming,
yeah.
It's kind of trash, just like they all are. But just for like typing things up, it lasts forever. Okay.
So like how long would you estimate that this battery lasts you?
Honestly, I haven't charged that since Friday, but I haven't really used it.
Okay.
Like for
so
intensive stuff.
Yeah, like from what I've noticed, like just using it for office work, like 5-6 hours of actual use is pretty easy. But one of the things that I've noticed about this laptop is that it throttles down to like 1.5 gigahertz on battery, and there's no way of getting it above that. There's nothing in the BIOS that you can change. There's nothing in Windows that you can change. Like
yeah, I've tried.
We've done fresh installation of Windows. It's just not there. And so whenever it's on battery, it is cripplingly slow. Like I watch YouTube videos at like 3 times speed, and I cannot do that when it's on battery. It has to be plugged in.
I could barely watch it at 1.5.
Yeah, so like part of it is like this is as powerful as a desktop. Like that's roughly, like this is more powerful than a computer you owned 2 years ago, basically. Yeah. But then on the, like, so expecting it to be plugged in, for me, as a laptop, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I prefer laptops, and I think you might agree with this. It's just like, I can take this from work home. Yeah. Like it's basically, it moves with me. It's not that it's battery powered, it's portable, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like if you need to plug it in to actually use it, then portability isn't really that great.
Yeah. All right, so you're a writer. You use the keyboard all the time. What do you think of the keyboard? Inform me, perspective boy.
I mean, it's a laptop keyboard.
Okay.
Like it's not bad, but it's also just a laptop keyboard. They're all kind of just mushy-ish, but I've used others and this kind of feels better. Okay, do you get fatigue when using this? Is it like, they're not too hard, they're not too soft, like your fingers feel fine? No. Okay, and the trackpad? I have some gripes.
Okay, what are they?
Like left and right clicks are sometimes super hard. Okay. Like that gets really annoying after a while. Okay. I mean, I'm a fan of the fact that it has dedicated buttons. That's a big thing for me. Of course. Like I hate the trackpad, like clicking. Yeah. Like with Reese's Mac, it's just trash. Yeah. But the trackpad itself, like it felt like it lost connection, like it was a wireless mouse a few times. Okay. Like it just didn't track anything. Okay. And like I installed drivers to fix that and it helped a little bit. Okay. But it was still there. Right. Wootware does ship these things with USB flash drives that have the drivers on them. We just got the pre-sample for that, so like we didn't get that opportunity, so we had to download those ourselves. But the screen looks fine. Like you don't really need it for much. Like you're just playing Cuphead, and that's not like the world's most gorgeous game. So I mean Doom, and it looked amazing. Yeah. So video gaming experience for you was good enough. Oh yeah.
Like 1050 Ti, you play everything you can play.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna be playing something on this, it'd be something like Cuphead that's easy to pick up and just toss aside. And like if I wanted to actually game, I'd go to my desktop.
Wait, okay, hold on for a second. Like, let's say we had to kill your desktop. Like I just stabbed it with a knife, right? Could you just use this as your sole machine?
I could, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
Okay, why? Why wouldn't you be happy? Like if we gave you a keyboard and mouse, would that make you feel better?
Because I kind of like the balance between performance and looks.
Okay.
And I don't really get that with this. It's more, you have to suffer a lot in the quality department to get games like PUBG running well.
Okay.
But like.
So you would want an updated graphics card.
Oh yeah.
If this was going to be, because you have a 1066 gig. Okay, so a 1050 Ti is a step down.
Yeah.
And then a mobile 1050 Ti is a further step down.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Understood. All right, and then like temperatures while gaming, how is it?
It was honestly not that noticeable.
Okay.
From a purely human's perspective, like it didn't give off. Some would argue.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. Like, what percentage human and what percentage monster are you? Like Monster Energy, not like creature. That. Like I don't think you're like sleeping under my bed trying to scare me. That would be terrifying.
How much water is in a human body?
That's 70%.
Replace that with monster.
Okay, so he's 70% monster, 30% real person.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so from a real person's perspective, not somebody who's consumed by energy drink.
Yeah.
It feels normal.
Heat from the keyboard area, like compared to others, or like it's decent.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the 1050 Ti doesn't run that hot.
Right.
But like I can see myself getting like uncomfortably hot with that if I was going to do something like video editing.
Yeah. Well, one of the nice things is that it has an intake here. It has slits down here on the grill for intake as well, but it only has a single exhaust fan, which kind of, I think that would be the limiting factor here. If they could put in a second exhaust fan, which they kind of have space for, at least on the grill cutout. I wouldn't.
Here too.
Not necessarily qualified enough as an engineer to say that you could definitely put a case fan there, especially with the battery being positioned where it is. Okay, aesthetics-wise, it's like aggressively angled, right?
Yeah, like it's gamery, but it's not like
it's not too gamery.
Bad.
Yeah, like you could take this to Starbucks and nobody be like, "Yo, bro, you're one of them gamers. Look at that all-flat RGB you got." That's how.
What Starbucks do you go to?
The ones where they talk like that. Clearly,
that's unfortunate.
Okay, and you mentioned you've been stabbed a couple times.
Yeah, just okay.
Okay, show us on the laptop where it's hurt you.
Right here?
Okay, yeah, that clip right here. We'll get that in post-production. Yeah, that is sharp. That's Stabby McStab City right there. Okay.
That is bad.
Okay, and like that looks like a design choice more than it's like necessary for keeping, like, we'll make sure Reece gets this in post, but like that is difficult and painful. Okay.
No, that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, but 15.6 inches, 1080p. No problems there.
Perfect for
Everything's good there. This is a decent looking laptop. Speakers, they're bad, right?
They're the worst speakers I've ever heard.
Like, okay, here, log me in and let's play some non-copyrighted music or one of our videos, I suppose. Like, no kidding, there is like zero bass to these things.
Nothing.
I think that's the worst thing about this laptop. So like one of the complaints that we could have is the battery, the performance on the battery life is great, but at the cost of performance, and there's no way of changing that, which very much upsets me. But then secondarily, speakers.
Yeah,
horrific.
100%. Like, I don't need to use the laptop speakers a lot, but the few times I need them to work well, they don't.
Right.
And they're just trash.
Yeah, okay, so like this is hot news from yesterday. Let's turn this up to full blast. So this is gonna be full volume as soon as it loads, because again, we're on battery, and it's just taking its sweet, precious time, because it's just running.
Monday, friends. Hot news. You guys ready?
That is as tinny as a tin can.
Oh yeah.
And that is full blast. That, like, this is like very difficult to listen to, especially if anybody else is talking around you.
Oh yeah, you won't hear anything.
And like they're downward firing, so if you have it on your lap, it's going into your legs, and so you can't hear it. And then if somebody tries to talk to you, like you're just like, hold on, I have to pause because I can't hear anything right now. That's
100%.
Like that would probably be the worst thing about this laptop, and the reason, like, if you need good laptop speakers, do not buy this thing.
Yeah, I hate it.
But one of the advantages, like we mentioned earlier, that this comes in about 800 Rand cheaper than the other laptops when you spec it out the same. For 800 Rand, you could buy a decent pair of headphones.
Of course.
Like, and then, I mean, that kind of makes up for it. But then also, speaking of like, in terms of quality in its class, like the other cheap gaming laptops, obviously, they're expensive. They're not as sturdy as this. Like this flexes, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Like it definitely feels like the construction is decent. Like I don't feel like when I just chuck this into my bag, like I'm gonna break it.
Like I feel like I'm gonna break it, but it's gonna be after a while.
Right, like eventually you'll wear it down to the point where it gives up on living. But like with other cheap budget laptops, what I've noticed is that they are more flimsy. Like they're more like this card where it's just like, if I just bend it a little too hard, it's gonna snap. Whereas this, I feel like it could take some abuse. We brought this to Taiwan.
Oh, yeah.
Like no issues there. Like it
was sturdy.
Yeah, like in our backpacks, traveling with us for quite some time. Everything is good there. Performance is fine. It's what you expect out of 6 cores, 12 threads.
Definitely.
The heat's okay. If they added another fan, that'd be good.
Yeah, I feel like that's just a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
The cutouts are there.
Yeah.
Like sure, like there's no fan blowing out there, but just having that extra kind of ventilation would help.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break this down into pros and cons. Pros, aesthetic.
Yeah.
It looks great. Like especially for the price.
Okay.
The value you get, definitely good. I'm happy with it.
The best.
Yes.
At that price range, you're not getting
anything close to it. Yeah. Third, give me another.
What do we get? Performance and looks?
Yeah.
And price?
The value. So value covers that. So
okay.
Okay. And like,
I mean, 6 cores, 12 threads at that price point.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. The value is probably the biggest selling point. Cons: battery performance. Oh, okay. Battery life would be in the pro category. Con: battery performance. Not good. Then also the speakers, trash level. Like not even worth including. Like if they would have saved space and put a cooler in instead of the speakers, that would have been like sell it as it doesn't have speakers. That would make so much more sense. That's where I'm at with this. I think you're.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense for all of us.
I just use headphones.
Yeah, all of the time. So like this is as unbiased as we could probably get about a product that Wootware is selling directly. Like this is called the Wootware Wootbook. So like they are a big sponsor for the channel. We've been with them for very long. So we can't be perfectly objective, but like we're doing our best here. If you want good speakers, it sucks. It's so bad. It's terrible. But like honestly, like I'm asking Wootware if I can buy this unit, just so we could have it around for the office because they're so solid. Comparing it to anybody else who's in South Africa right now, I don't want to buy their laptops. I definitely would love to keep this, which is also one of the reasons why we've been a little late on returning them because they have changed how we work so much. Like being able for Tank to just take this home and then be able to work on stuff at home as well, like it's just changed everything.
I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, he's gonna miss it. It's been a good wild ride, but anyways, that's as good as we can get for a previous sponsor of this channel, or a current sponsor.
Previous sponsor?
Current sponsor, they've sponsored previous videos.
They might become previous after this.
Jeez. Okay, anyways, yeah, so we did our best to remain objective. They did not pay us for this video. Clevo is not involved in this whatsoever. They told us to give honest feedback. We've given this feedback to them, and they've given it to Clevo. Hopefully they'll make some improvements on the cooling, the battery performance, as well as the speakers. Like,
that'd be amazing.
Like any sort of configuration there would make, or change there would make this so much better, and honestly it shouldn't increase the cost too much.
No, like it's minor fixes. I'm like removing the speakers.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave a link in the video description if you guys want to pick up these Wootware Wootbooks. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know what you thought of this style of video where like we just kind of dialogue about it and we just chat. What do you guys think about this? Is this how you would like to see reviews going forward? I'm curious. Let's sign off down in the comments down below. Tell them to hit the like button, Tank.
Hit the like button, Tank.
Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content. I'm Brett. This is Tank with the UFD Tech channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Love you too.